Hello people of YouTube. This video is going to be a review of the anime series, Marvel anime series, X-Men. Now, when I first started watching this, I really didn't have high hopes for it, as I'm not a really huge fan of American comics or anything like that. I mean, I like them, but it's only specific ones. I'm not a huge fan of, like, superhero comics and things. Uh, as much, unless it's like Batman, because Batman's pretty awesome. But, anyway, so the X-Men. Not a huge fan of the X-Men, but I've seen a couple of the movies, and I like the X-Men, and this actually made me like them a lot more. This blew me away, especially compared to my expectations. It is actually anime. It is actually made by the Japanese. I'm assuming it's more made for a Western audience, though, probably primarily American, but it does have kind of an anime style. Somewhat, it's more detailed, so it's similar to an American animated film. In that respect, it's of pretty high quality, though it does have, it is anime, obviously, so it retains those qualities as well as taking some from American animated films and other Marvel or whatever kind of animated films they've done before. The coloring looks more like an American animation, which I do and do not like, because on one hand, it looks more realistic and it's of a higher quality than most anime, but it kind of loses that anime feeling after a little while of seeing it. But the animation is also really high quality, as you'd expect of Marvel in general. So the colors, the line work, the animation, all three of them, you can tell that they're anime-esque, and they're definitely made by people who have made anime, and they're of that same style, but they're of a generally higher quality than most anime is. And I'm assuming that's just because it's Marvel, because Marvel really tries to, be outstanding in things like that. And, I mean, I can understand why. They have a reputation to uphold. So, this, I guess it's supposed to be a canon story. It doesn't really have anything to do with other X-Men stories, other than it has some of the same characters that, I mean, it has the X-Men, obviously, but it's got a few characters that aren't primary characters. They're not actually members of the X-Men that you'd only know if you'd like read the comics or something like that. So there is some familiarity that I would say is more required, I guess, to really fully get the story, I guess. But you could completely understand it and enjoy it without ever knowing anything about the X-Men beforehand. It takes place primarily in Japan, which is not really a big surprise, since every Japanese adaptation of anything that's not Japanese, for some reason, pretty much always takes place in Japan. And so this is no different. Basically, the characters are what you would expect of the X-Men. Some things seem to be more exaggerated, and I don't know if it's because that's what they think of Americans, or I have no idea. But some of the characters are a bit more personified, I guess. Like Wolverine, he's supposed to be like tough guy, bruiser that just like solves problems with the blades coming out of his arms. And in this, he is really, really into just smash and kill everything, at least in the beginning. After a little while, he becomes more normal, but in the beginning, he's like super like hostile towards everyone. And then Scott, which is Cyclops, he seems like more of a wimp than usual. So I don't know. If you're not familiar with the X-Men, that doesn't mean a whole lot to you. But if you are or are not a fan of it, I would definitely recommend watching it. I will go ahead and say, though, as I have already said, it's not like most anime. It doesn't have that same kind of feeling, in my opinion. So I didn't really think of it much as an anime, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I just look at it differently because of the way it feels. It's more like Western animation. Anyway, I would say this probably earned about a 7 or an 8. I'd say closer to 8 because I really didn't have any problems with it, which is kind of surprising because I usually have at least one gripe with pretty much everything that I watch, but this I didn't really have a problem with at all, other than parts of the story didn't necessarily make sense canonically with X-Men, and you'll see why if you watch it. But either way, X-Men anime, a lot better than I expected, probably better than you're expecting. It's on Crackle, which is free if you want to watch it. It's only 12 episodes, I think. I don't know if there are more seasons, but this is the one I watched, and I'll probably move on to something else. I hope this gets more views than my last video. It was pretty disappointing. I got like 10 views on it. That's like the lowest I've gotten on any of them. Anyway, I need people to subscribe. Subscribe for your own good for the contest, and watch my other videos if you want to hear about that, because I'm sick of saying it. And I'm just rambling now. I may not have a video up for a little while because, as some of you know, I'm an artist and I've got some work to do, so I'm not going to be watching much anime for the next couple of days, and it's starting the weekend, so I might not have a video for a little while. And that's about all I have to say. So I hope you guys have a good time without me, and it's the Anime Observer signing out.